What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's your man Nathan, ATX Crypto. Hope y'all are having a fantastic weekend. It is Saturday, February 25th, 2023. Can you imagine that we only got 3 more days left in the month for February? And goodness gracious, guys, if that just means that we're that much closer to the mid-May launch expectation, let's get ready to hold the F on. Now, HEX has taken a little bit of a dip lately, and I think it's also because of the fact that Richard Hart has gone kind of quiet. He was doing a really good job. For the last 6 weeks plus, he's given us some sort of update on PulseChain, and yet this week we haven't got it. I think when people catch on to patterns, they start expecting, and he's really making sure to give no expectation from the work of others. And you know, as tough as that is to see sometimes, it's really kind of the case that, you know, he's really doing what he can to make sure that all of us are kept on our toes. He doesn't want anyone gaming the system. He's talked about this previously, which is why I also am a big fan of just launching PulseChain when it's ready instead of launching public testnet first. Now I see the contrarian view saying that we actually want a chance to check out the other ability, if you will, or the ability to go ahead and play around with the new testnet. That's always a good information and good to know as well. So I see both perspectives. I just prefer the first perspective where we talk about PulseChain running in the background on private testnet v3 like it's been doing. And then when it's ready, just say block number XYZ is going to be the fork of PulseChain. And I think people are going to just go freaking crazy about it. Now, we've talked about this in the past, and let's take a little peeky weeky over here at the actual HEX daily chart right now to see what's going on. Maybe look into who's selling and see what's happening with that as well. We can see overall, this is the HEX chart right here. We did in fact break the trend line for a little bit of time. Now this is the daily chart right now. We want to see how we end up with the day. It looks like we're pushing back up again, back into the 5.9 cent threshold. But I was wanting to see if this line is going to continue to hold. This line has been a pretty good level of resistance and support for quite some time, or should I say support for quite some times. So it's just a matter of seeing what's actually going to end up happening. Are we going to continue to hold this level of support? Are we going to end up breaking through? If we do break through, what exactly might that mean? Because typically we have been making higher highs and higher lows, and right now we're actually going into a lower lows situation. Now again, this is on the daily. This is a very short-term perspective. I get it. I just want to let everyone know what I'm seeing, share my thoughts on it, get y'all's opinion on it, give me an idea of what's actually happening across the board. Let me know in the comments or in the chat, who do you think is going to be correct? Are we pumping up and be bullish, or are we on the bearish side and this was just a simple close to a false bear rally, if you will, where essentially we do a nice little pump up and then we get the nice little pullback. Now at this point in time we have some wicks, just means that these limit orders are in fact getting filled. We did have the golden cross that happened. That's that 50 MA moving, crossing over the 200 MA. So that is typically a bullish indicator in most circumstances when you see these two cross on the upward trajectory. When the 50 is moving up above the 200, that is the golden cross, where again you see a lot of bullish momentum. We're still in the relatively similar index for RSI, sitting at around 60, so not too hot, not too low, just kind of staying right in the middle, which we've been doing since really the beginning of the year. And you can see there's been a few moments in time where we ended up scooching forward a little bit higher than that, where the price ended up dumping right after, right? Because we got the news of the bug found. If y'all remember that tweet from Richard Hart, he said there was a bug found and it was like, kaboosh! Fucking HEX took like a 22% drop that day. So just kind of assuming what might happen, right? Let's just take a little gander real fast. Say what's up to everybody. Say what's up to all you beautiful people real fast as well. So what is going on, my friend Gabriel? Hello, how are you? Hope everyone is having a fantastic day as always. We got Gabriel in the house. What up, what up? Anthony Saavedra, yo, yo. What's up, Anthony? Hello, Logi33, how are you? Hi, ATX, happy Saturday, y'all. Absolutely, happy Saturday to every single one of you beautiful folks. Maybe a fib 6.18 or 0.618 retracement. Let's go, says facing reality. Yeah, we're gonna take a little gander and see kind of what may end up happening across the board, across them all. So let's see what we can really get going here. We're gonna do the fib retracement and just kind of go from low to high, whoops, backwards. Fib retracement from here to here. All right, so assuming that we end up dropping down and kind of seeing what these patterns might end up being, this is kind of a brief little example of what we may see just looking here. Go move this all the way up to the top, there we go. So if we drop back down to the 6.618 level, that would put the price of HEX in that 4.7 cent region. This would also be a good time to make sure that you are setting limit orders in place, folks. This is what you should be learning during this whole bear market, bull market situation. I don't really care about these other ones. Let me get rid of some of this other stuff real quick. I like the 786. That's always a good level of resistance too. Cool. All right. And extend. I actually want to see it just kind of go extend their line just to kind of go all the way across, that way I don't have to guess. So assuming what we're seeing here, looks like we may end up bouncing down into a 4.7 cent region. This could also mean that there could be some more momentum to kind of capture some limit orders. If you don't have limit orders set, now is a good time to start setting some limit orders to go ahead and scoop up some more HEX, and God forbid it actually ends up dipping down to this 2.618 level, which I really don't see happening. We'd have to have some that bearish news once again, like PulseChain's delayed inevitably or something like that, for us to really start seeing that kind of dip. But should we end up being around 3.3 cents? Now again, that's just one way of looking at it right here. If we do bounce back up again, then it would bring us right back into the 0.618 region, which would again be right in that 6 cent range, which we've been kind of hovering in between this whole 6 cent range for a little bit of time now. 6 cents has been a good level of support, resistance, and all that good stuff as well. Let's make a little line here, as a matter of fact, for 6 cents. So let me get down close enough. So that's the 6 cent level right there. Just to kind of give anyone an example of what that may end up looking like. But again, I am a fan of actually setting limit orders, folks. It is a good way to make sure that we can capitalize on all of these momentums and prices happening. Let's see if I can do this. And switch this up to like a gray. It's so tough to see. I'll adjust that later. We'll adjust those later. I just want to make it a little bit easier to see, but that made it so much more more difficult. So yeah, that's kind of what we're seeing. Now again, if we take off the 50 and 200 and just kind of see what the 9 and 15 EMA is doing, we don't have any sort of bearish momentum at this point in time. Let me also get rid of this for the chart. But we don't have any sort of bearish sentiment at this point in time because we actually crossed right back toward the beginning of the year. If you actually noticed on January right here, that is when the 9 EMA crossed the 15 EMA. And once again, that is a bullish indicator from what we can see, because then we rallied all the way up until roughly about the 6 cent threshold that we're seeing. So we still have a good 300% gain in the last 52 days, 55 days since the beginning of January. So pretty good movement right there. As long as these two lines stay above, again, I'm not really seeing any sort of bearish indicators like we talk about or like we discuss. So I would say at this point in time, we are still in the bullish range. However, let's just take a little gander once again and say, God forbid there's been some news, because now PulseChain is very correlated to HEX, or should I say HEX is very correlated to PulseChain. So if we get any announcement from Richard Hart, maybe today, tomorrow, saying something was delayed, another issue was found, something happened, well, we can probably expect the price to do something like this, so a 22% dip. So if we just take it from where it is right now and go down 22%, that again brings us right back into that 4.7 cent region, 4.7 cent region. So what I would say is if you are looking to scoop up some additional HEX, red days are phenomenal days to buy. It also gives you a good indicator that you can come on down into the below 5 cent threshold, set some limit orders maybe at 5.1, 5 or 4.9, 4.7. Do a ladder situation on the way down. That way, in case the target doesn't in fact get hit, you can still scoop up some additional HEX. I know at this point in time, I currently still have some limit orders, even down here in this 2 cent region, just in case, because I have it going for essentially 6 months. So if we get like some black swan event or something crazy happens, I want to be able to take advantage of those moments as well. I've talked about how I put in my limit orders in the past, but I do use CalSwap at this point in time. It's been the easiest way to go about getting this done. Let me switch it back over to the Ethereum network. I was messing with the PulseChain testnet a little earlier. But this is the CalSwap of swap.cal.fi. You can see it does have the ability to do limit orders, and you can set it, essentially go down here to custom and go all the way out to 6 months plus, right? So this is a great opportunity. So you can set a limit order up until August 27th of 2023, make it an absolute far reach just in case something does happen. It didn't set it, but y'all get the idea of what I'm talking about here. August 27th. Okay, 26. My apology. August 26th is as far as you can go, because some days have 31 days, some days have 30 days, February has 28. So long story short, you can set it up until August 26th of 2023. You can basically set it and forget it, right? But you still want to make sure that if you are in fact wanting to scoop up some additional HEX, well, you might want to consider setting limit orders in the region like we just discussed, somewhere in this 5.4, 5.2, 5.1, 4.9, whatever makes sense for you. My recommendation is you go and you set a few limit orders to go and capture some more HEX if you are in fact looking to scoop up some more HEX. I'm not a fan of doing market buys anymore. I've just been frustrated time and time again where you do a market buy, the price drops, you're just angry instead of happy, even though the price is not guaranteed in the future, but a much further longer vision term shows the price of HEX being way up there. So even if you get it now, it's still a phenomenal price. However, again, I know we're creatures of habit, we're emotional beings, we're emotional animals. So what I would say in this regard is we're probably going to end up looking something similar to, oh, give me one sec here. Oh, don't even worry about that. I completely got distracted once again. You're probably looking for something similar to make sure that once the limit orders are hit, you're actually happy. So when the price does drop, say to 5.3, 5.1, 4.9, these are all just examples. 4.7 based on what we just saw, 2 metrics showing that to be a potential case. Well, you are actually elated when the price ends up getting there because you're like, just scooped up some more, and you don't even have to do anything. You don't have to be in front of a computer. You don't have to be there trying to do the timing of the market. Do I wait to buy? Gas fees are this. Do I wait to do this? All this stuff is done for by the system, and in fact CalSwap will in fact pay that additional fee like we have talked about right here. CalSwap will cover your gas fee by executing your order at a slightly better price than the limit order you set. For this reason, your order may not be filled exactly when the market price reaches your limit price. So that's just another reminder for those folks who don't necessarily understand, but you do want to set a limit order with either USDC or stablecoin or wrapped Ethereum. You can't do it with Ethereum. Just FYI, if you're trying to get that done and you're having some issues, that's probably what you're going to be running into. So for example, I can come on down here. I can say I want to get some HEX. So we're going to say HEX right here. and do a little search. It pulls that up, and then again, you can set all of this in your system for you. So you would say, I want to go and do, you know, $1,000 just for example, and you would say I want to set the limit order price at 5.3. Well, say you have $5,000. Let's just make it simple. Say you have $5,000. You're trying to buy some HEX. You're wondering how, when, and where. Well, you can at least make sure that you can scoop up some along the way down should the price hit. This is also risky because the price may not actually get there, folks, just FYI. So if you are wanting to get some HEX and you don't have any, maybe it's not a bad idea to do a market buy. I've just learned that I'm an emotional being. I'm a creature of emotion, and I know how I feel whenever I do a market buy and the price does the exact opposite. It's like someone watching me, waiting for me to fucking click buy to do a massive sell, and I just can never get that timing right, so I gave up on trying to do market buys, and I do limit orders. It's such a relief in my head. And then when the price gets executed and hit, you're fucking happy. You're like, bam, scooped up some more, without even having to be in front of a computer or try to watch the chart the whole time. So, say you set $5,000, you do one for 5.3, you set it for 6 months. Set it and forget it. You can literally come on down here, you'll receive 18,000 HEX. You can come on down here and say, bam, select it. I don't have any USDC in this wallet. I don't even have any funds in this wallet, as this is a dummy wallet that I use to connect to different systems, showcase how to connect stuff, show y'all what to do. And I recommend if y'all are checking out a system that you are not familiar with, definitely use a dummy wallet, folks. Do not use a wallet that you have your HEX stakes in. Do not use a wallet that you have the sacrifices for PulseChain or PulseX in. It is always recommended, if you're messing with a new coin, a new protocol, a new system, just create a new wallet for now until you get familiar with it. You don't want to jeopardize these assets. You don't want to jeopardize the 4 pillars that we talk about here on this channel. So again, if you have 5,000, you set one at 5.3, you set one at 5.2, you set one at 5.1. I don't recommend the 5. I'm not a fan of just doing a flat 5. However, if you want to, you can. You can come on down here and then set it to 4.9. And this is kind of where you end up starting to make it your own decision. You go 4.9, and then you could even go down to 4.7. So that would be a 21% decrease in the price, of course, but you would also end up accruing roughly about 3,000 more HEX or 2,000 more HEX from where you were back at the 5.3 cent level. And God forbid, at the current market price, if you were to do that $1,000, you would only get 17,000. Whereas again, if you end up waiting till 4.7 cents, by having limit orders bought on the way down, you would get 21,000 HEX. So that's a good increase of additional HEX that you can use for staking. You get more T shares because once again, you have more HEX. So all of it becomes advantageous to set limit orders instead of doing market buys, but you do you, boo, and make that decision for what makes sense for what you're looking to accomplish, okay? So that's what I would recommend in terms of the price going on right now. We're going to take a little gander and see kind of what ends up happening with this. I'm curious as well. Will we continue to dip? Will we get some sort of announcement from Richard? It's been, you know, a little over, I believe, 2 weeks almost, or a week and a half. The last time he had stated something was that was PulseChain related, should I say, was right here, February 18th. So we are now February 25th. That's what, 7 days later. So we are a full week in and he has not said anything. I think that's why the price is doing what it's doing. Personally, I think people are just waiting for him to say something, and anytime he doesn't, people just do the they lose their fucking mind. Let's just leave it simple like that, right? People lose their mind. They're like, oh my gosh, he hasn't said anything. Sell. Like, people are fucking crazy, but I get it. We're, like I said, we're creatures of emotion, man. I get it, right? I get it. So taking a little gander over here, I was trying to see if he had stated anything. Again, it looks like there was a Polygon exploit. Once again, the man continues to try to freaking educate people. I can't even say this enough. This is what led me to Richard Hart and HEX in the first place. I was put on by a good buddy of mine who I was doing trading with and all this other stuff and messing with cryptos, and he said, you got to check out this guy. His name's Richard Hart. I watched, I think it was like 5 videos, and I was like, dude, this dude's a fucking genius. But not only a genius, like a true person who is trying to help save the crypto world. And that's what I noticed whenever I watched him. Personally, that's what I got and took away. So it made sense whenever I started looking into HEX, to the way it worked, to the design. I was like, this is just brilliant. It's what I've been looking for. And then I went all in. That's just as simple as that. That's my story. It made sense to me. But again, you got to make that decision for you. I will not be held responsible for any decisions that you make, because you are a big boy and big girl. So he said Polygon exploit, as they were down a couple hours this week, we had 150 block reorg IIRC. There was also a hack analysis where White Hat gets $2 million by finding way to transfer funds from null address on Polygon. And you can look at the transfer with signature. It expects the recovery to revert on failure, but sometimes it returns 0 instead. Formal verifications would have caught this. Full write-up. So it's basically like exactly what it was stated. They break down where the code was. As White Hat showed that it was possible. Once again, this is why, in my opinion, it is taking so long for PulseChain to launch. It is not as simple as just putting a fucking couple of numbers together and then launching it. I don't want my money to be at risk for any reason. Richard Hart has a reputation that he cannot afford to have it go and do something like this. He just can't. So it's gotta be fucking flawless, just like HEX has been. So if we look at all of this, this is just another security incident where Edge senior staff were made aware of the security incident where a user had expected and had experienced an unauthorized transaction, which swept the full amount of their Bitcoin wallet. God damn, dude, that would suck. Can you just imagine, like I said, dude, just to think you're safe and then all of a sudden you just lose everything? Like, that would freaking blow. But once again, what can we learn from this? Like, shit may happen, okay? It might. It just might happen. But what I can learn from this and take away from this and hopefully share with y'all is that set up multiple wallets. Like, what I've learned from looking at the Godwell address and multiple Sharks address and multiple Dolphins address is they do not have just one address with all of their HEX, with all of their stakes. They do not have it in one address. So often they separate that wealth and move it and diversify it into multiple wallets. Why? Because of this situation right here. You do not want to be caught in this situation. That would absolutely just fucking blow, okay? Let me just leave it like that. But once again, he is still trying to help save everyone from all of the BS happening, whether it be Binance, for example, just recently did another thing, which was just an absolute crazy freaking thing. 3Commons API leak has been published. If you haven't already removed your API key. So basically what happened was the Australian government was looking to look into all of Binance for every single thing because of failing to follow the Australian authority for their governance and what they have stated for finance, for their finances. And so what they did in Binance is they said, you know what? Fuck that. They just liquidated basically everyone who had an Australian account and just like got wrecked. Due to irregularity, we're temporarily pausing BSC. We apologize for the inconvenience. Again, $500 million hack. He lets everyone know. So Richard Hart has been keeping everyone up to date with all of this data and all this information. Big fan of what he's doing, but yeah, it was quite hilarious with how it ended up all happening. He has that whole hack list going on, basically, is what this is, and what I just clicked into, where it's a full thread of all the hacks that have ever happened. But Binance just recently decided to liquidate everyone who had any sort of like margin account on their Binance, if they had like an Australian IP or whatever the case may be, just because they didn't want any business with them. They were just like, fuck them. I don't even get how that's legal to do, but it's what they allow, and I'm sure it's probably there in the fine code. So I don't want that kind of stuff happening to me, to my money, to my wallet, to my wealth. So I will gladly wait until Richard Hart has done his thing to make sure that we do have a perfect, flawless, trustless system like we're so used to, because just like Binance, for example, has admin keys and they can do a whole bunch of that stuff. But we won't have that, you know, like when codes launch, you know what I mean? So let me say what's up to everyone once again. Always love positive, always positive, love it. Keep up the great work. Facing Reality, thank you so much for the kind words. Appreciate that as well. We got Debbie G. What's up, Debbie G? Hello, Patreon supporter of you. Absolutely beautiful day. It's Saturday. Greetings, ATXicans. Good to be here. Hit those HEX limit orders on those dips. It's the best play and a great strategy. For sure, guys. Like you set limit orders to buy, you set limit orders to sell. It's as simple as that. You don't got to make this complicated. You don't got to get emotional. You just got to trust that you can put forth a system that will work for you and that you do not get greedy. When you start getting greedy and you start taking and making plays outside of your plan, like for example, if you planned on taking profits at a certain number and then you take profits but it wasn't enough and the price ends up dipping or going just 1 cent higher and it's outside of the realm that you were talking about and you take profits again, that's outside of your plan and you are going to risk jeopardizing your future in crypto. Because usually what happens is once you start breaking one rule, you kind of start, it's like a lie to yourself, right? It's like, are you the type of person who wakes up in the morning when their alarm clock goes off? Do you even have an alarm clock? Do you hit the snooze button? Because that's like starting off the day telling yourself a lie right away. If you say you're going to wake up at 7 or 6:30 or whatever time you set the alarm for, and then you hit snooze because you want 5 more minutes of sleep, 10 more minutes of sleep, 15 more minutes of sleep, you start off the day lying to yourself. I don't even think many people realize that's starting the day in the wrong foot. That's literally starting off on the wrong foot. Lying to yourself. If you set your alarm, just do it then. Get up when that alarm goes off. It might be a pain in the ass, but you will benefit so much more from it when you say, I do what I say I'm going to do. I am a man of my word. I am a woman of my word. I will do exactly as I will do, right? It's like all these things literally go into play, and if all these small things don't happen and all these little things you're like, oh, it's nothing, you know, or you say you're gonna go get something after work or you're gonna go meet someone and, you know, for whatever reason you're tired or something happens, oh, it's nothing. Like, that stuff stacks up, folks. That literally stacks up over time, and it literally is not good, and it builds this lie in yourself that you don't even realize is developing, and it creates such bad habits and behavior. So I don't allow myself to fall and succumb to that situation. If, again, I don't have an alarm clock, luckily, so I don't even have to worry about that. My body just wants to wake the fuck up when it wants to wake the F up. So it's like when it says it's time, and my body's like, shit, I would like more sleep, and I'm like, I ain't doing it, I'm up now. So like I get up, you know what I mean? That's just how I got to start my day personally. But yeah, absolutely. Limit orders on the way in for buying, limit orders on the way out for selling. Commit to what you say you're going to do, and you will win in this game of crypto. It's as simple as that. Would you do limit order? In your normal HEX wallet, or create another one just for that? Perfect. So again, depends on how familiar you are with the entire protocol, with the entire system, with the entire DApp, decentralized application. All of these things go into play. If you can trust not even trust, if you're willing to almost risk, because again, it is an inherent risk. If you're willing to say that I'm okay with connecting this wallet because I can read the transactions that it's going to do, I can read everything that I say. After I complete the transaction, maybe you go on to revoke.cash, for example, and you remove that wallet address from being able to ever do anything. You know, then I would say, yeah, I'm comfortable doing limit orders with the HEX stakes that I have now. But whenever I first started and I was getting familiar with it, I have a dummy wallet that we'll call it a degen wallet, a dummy wallet, whatever you want to call it, that I use for connecting to different protocols, that I use for allowing myself to learn and not give myself up and risk losing everything. The wallets that I have that I've sacrificed for PulseChain and PulseX, until they launch, I don't connect those to nothing. Like they will not see anything connected to it. I am not a fan of risking what could be potential wealth, generational wealth beyond imagination. Why would I want to risk that just so I can go and buy $100 worth of something, for example? You know what I mean? So that's just kind of one of those things for me. But once you are familiar with the system, or if you aren't familiar with the system, maybe you learn how to use revoke.cash or etherscan.io. I know I've shown this before, but I'll briefly show it again since we're here, we're having fun, we're kind of learning, educating, having fun, talking. So we go to revoke.cash is just one example here. And when you go on this website, it'll give you the ability to connect your wallet up top. Again, I don't have anything in this wallet. This is a straight up dummy wallet that does not have any funds whatsoever. I use it to test out the PulseChain testnet. I use it to connect to all these different protocols. I use it to show off stuff in my wallet, and so that way y'all can all see it. But this doesn't have any funds at all, so it's not going to be able to showcase exactly what it is. But what happens typically is when you connect your wallet and you allow it to spend some transactions, whether it's USDC or HEX, or you allow it to do it, a lot of the times it'll say unlimited, and then it's just that coin that you're almost risking. But at the same time, you can click revoke. Now, in order to do this, you want to do it on low gas fee days, because you do have to pay a small gas fee to remove it. You don't even like it, no matter if you go to revoke.cash or if you go to etherscan.io. Jesus, I can't type. If you could just go to etherscan.io, you can then go up here to more, go to token approvals. You can connect your wallet through this Web3. Now again, I don't have anything on here, but once it's connected, I can then see all the approvals that may have happened previously that I've said it's okay to do. So if you are setting limit orders, for example, that's an approval that you can revoke later, because sometimes it allows it to do an unlimited spending. So you could just revoke it after, and it's a quick way to just kind of clear that up right off the bat. To answer that question, hopefully that made a little bit more sense. Logi33, but yes, I would do something like that. Oh no, FOMO. Well, do I think PulseX will do 1000X? Absolutely, sure do, sure does. I mean, dude, we're so blessed. We're so fortunate to even be in this situation. But guys, you got to understand, if something does 100X, 200X, 400X, 800X, even if it doesn't do 1000X, like if you invest right, have a good plan set to take profits, then you can just change your life completely, right? Like an 800X your money is insane. Even $1,000 with an 800X is $800,000. However, this is where I would start looking into a profit-taking strategy, and that's what I have here with the whole profit-taking spreadsheet. You can literally come in here and say exactly what numbers you have. Now, this is all assuming relatively easy numbers, relatively easy things. I just wanted to kind of showcase this, but we can go over here and just say we'll have $1,000 as an initial investment. And let me just kind of zoom in a smidge. So we'll have $1,000 as an initial investment. And again, we can use this for HEX because it's already here. You can build your own calculator once you're here as well. And you could actually do all this stuff and figure it all out. But let's just say that we're going to use HEX as the example. So what is 2 cents times 800X? I'm sure it's $4 or something like that. 0.02 times 800, 16. Okay, terrible at math, obviously. So $16. So I can set the future price of HEX at $16, and then I can essentially come on down here and see what it would end up being and how much profit I could end up taking. So what I would do, my strategy is to sell every time the price doubles. So if it's done in 800x, well, you can kind of go through here and say that the price has, well, it would do a double, right? So again, I can't necessarily say 800, but even 500, because these are the doubles, that would mean the price of HEX ends up hitting $10, whatever the coin may be. That means there's been 9 doubles that have been happening through that time. You could have extracted only doing a 5% strategy, $35,000, and still be holding $322,000 in net worth right there with just that alone. Or you can go through here and really change this 5% to 10%, for example. And all these numbers can be adjusted and adjusted for what makes sense for you. But again, oh, I'm blocking it just a smidge. I see me blocking it. So you can come over and see, once again, you do a 10% profit taking strategy every time the price doubles, for example. So when it goes up to 4 cents, you take 10%. When it goes up to 8 cents, you take 10%. When it goes up to 16, so on and so forth, all the way up to that 512x, that would mean the price of HEX ends up being $10, 9 doubles. You would have taken $49,000 in profit. You would have had $198,000 still on liquid on that one. So many different things that you can do. You got to come up with your own strategy and what makes sense. But for shits and gigs, let's just say what happens when it reaches that 1000x. Well, that turns that $1,000 into $89,000 worth of profit being taken and still sitting on $357,000 in that asset, whether it be liquid or whatever you decide to do. So just a phenomenal strategy. I want to make sure that everyone has some sort of strategy that they can implement. Big fan of this. This is actually accessible through my Patreon if you want to join that and actually get access to the profit taking spreadsheet that I've built, or you can just come in here and build your own, take screenshots, figure out what makes sense for you. It all is good in the hood. So let us see what up. Are you okay? Is she freaking out? Poor sweet peso. Can she be in the spare if she's going to freak out? Okay, hold on. I gotta send my message. Oh, send my wife a message. Streaming. But she calmed down and is in the bathroom. All right, cool. All right. But yeah, to answer the question, TDM 10, yes, that price I do see going 1000x and beyond. But you better have a strategy ready for what's going to happen. Academiated says, great info. Thanks so much as always, Academiated. Appreciate the love, support, and pleasure to see everyone in here. Answering the same question. Hex Hodl says, over time, I do think so. Yeah, for sure. Like, again, like what... It depends on like how long of a mindset you're talking. Are you talking, do you think it's going to do 1000x within a year? Do you think it's going to do 1000x within, 5 years, 10 years? Are we 1000x in 15 years, for example? It depends on what that time frame is that you're referring to. But yes, do I see 1000x being possible? For sure. And based on the numbers that we've looked at in the past, on average, a decentralized exchange from launch, and we'll do a 519x within 1 year. So I can just assume if we go out a little bit further past that, then we're in the 1000x range, you know what I mean? Maybe in the first 3 years. And PulseChain is kind of launching, in my opinion, right near the perfect freaking time, assuming we do get it here in even the next few months. And the reason why is because we're just coming out of a bear market. Bitcoin's going into the halvening cycle, and if you haven't noticed, for crypto in general, when Bitcoin does a halvening in 2024, for example, that usually will be a bullish momentum and a bullish rally for crypto in general. People get very excited. People start hearing about it more. They start learning about PulseChain. They hear about it. So do I see PulseChain and PulseX being at 1000x in the next 2-3 years? Yep, I can see that being very possible. Now again, I'm not a financial advisor. You gotta do you, So Yep. Best advice for the impatient is to go back and rewatch Hart's old streams. Yeah. I mean, I think everyone should go back and just rewatch some of his old streams. I mean, he would literally divulge information that was just wild for anybody, and it would just be, he would do like 5-hour streams and just answer everyone's questions, and dude, it was incredible. It's like, if you haven't gone back to watch some of the old streams, like we're talking about prior to 2021, right? Because that's 2021, we got the PulseChain sacrifice. It began focusing a little bit more on that. We got, you know, the PulseX sacrifice at the end in 2022, at January, you know, that time frame. And then we really have just kind of been focusing on the new projects from there. But if you go back to, you know, we'll just say January of 2021, for example, so 2 years ago, man, you start watching some of that content, oh my gosh, he drops so much freaking knowledge. It's absolutely insane. So I would definitely advise pointing people in that same direction. Thank you for that comment. Logi33, have stakes separately from the wallet that you swap with. Yeah, so like, again, everyone's got to have that determination of what you got to do. But if it's something you're not familiar with, always, my personal decision that I would choose is to go and go and use a separate wallet to get familiar with it, to make sure that I don't jeopardize myself, to make sure that I don't put myself at risk, my stakes, my sacrifice, all that. So that's kind of what I would say in that regard, and hopefully that does make a little bit of sense. But yeah, absolutely. Stake HEX TDM10 says, I hope so. I got hacked for my life savings. All I have is my PLSX. See, that sucks, man. That sucks. That's brutal. And I'm sorry, but what I will say, just to kind of help reiterate something that I've said my entire life, is money can always be made up again, right? So like, that's the one benefit, is you can always go make up money, dude. You can't get back a lot of stuff, but money is one thing that you can always get back. So it stinks that you got in that situation. It stinks that even happened to you. I never wish that upon anybody, even my worst enemy. I've said that before, because money issues is a real issue that has a big mental health effect, and I'm big on mental health. I think it's one of the things we don't talk about or focus on enough. So money can always be made up again, especially if you got PulseX. I've shared this before. If you haven't seen it, TDM, if you are going to have PulseX, for example, and that is all that you have, I would typically advise you take some profits from PulseX. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. You gotta do you, boo. But even if it does 100x and you have $1,000 or whatever it was that you sacrificed for PulseX, then again, you've turned that into 100,000, and I would hopefully you've got some profit taking strategy, but I would move some profits into PulseChain. I would move them into HEX, and I would set up staking ladders on those different systems for HEX, and you can get yield farming from PulseX. But definitely start building the foundation of a 4-pillar system. Set up even a multiple wallet address. I've talked about this as well in the past. It's a 3-wallet system. You do 2 that you have basically kind of mirror each other, if you will. So that way you have your PulseChain, your PulseX, your HEX, your stakes, all that set up, and then you mirror it over onto a different wallet. You can literally have your PulseChain, PulseX, and all your HEX stakes and all that set up on that wallet. So if one does get compromised, you do not end up screwed. And then you have a degen wallet, or a dummy wallet, whatever you want to call it, right? I'm calling it a degen wallet because typically the idea is that you can use it to connect and go buy and go check out different apps and have the things like Pulse Dogecoin and have the things like all the meme coins that are coming out, and use that wallet for that example, because if you connect it to something, you don't end up screwed with your 4 pillars, and I think the 4 pillars are massive. So hopefully that helps also explain that as well. All right, what we got going on here? Stakes wallet should be cold until ripe. Yeah, exactly. What's up, Funkmaster Hex? How are you? Hex Squid says heavy. Yeah, appreciate that. TDM. Oh, damn. Really sorry to hear that. Ideally, it's best to use hardware wallet and a passphrase. Hidden wallet. Yeah, so there's so many security things that you can do. But I at least start with kind of like just the easy to understand method, and that's a 3-wallet system. You have your HEX stakes, and with the price of HEX still being relatively inexpensive at this point in time, You could possibly set up a new wallet that has additional stakes over there. And, luckily that was something that I was able to just kind of build in this little bear market that we've been in. And I've almost been able to replicate what I had in my first wallet, but now I can ensure that if one does end up getting compromised for whatever reason, because my security may have not been the best when I first started crypto, who knows? I don't know what that event will be, but I don't want to end up in a situation where that's all my money gone. So that's kind of what I would say. Hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. But yeah, I definitely agree with all that as well. Thank you, of course. But with any wallet, if one approves a scam, if one approves a scam DApp, it's compromised. Yeah, so it's not hard to get screwed in crypto, right? We know that. You can literally go and put forth some money and get rugged, and you can connect to a bad actor DApp, or you can connect to a wallet, or send funds somewhere that's not real, or there's so many different things that can happen in crypto. We get it. It's full of some crazy volatile areas, but at the same time, you can in fact start making some precautions like we talked about with the 3-wallet system. So keep stakes and hodls away from that wallet that you use dApps like with the DEXs. Yeah. It's crazy I didn't have a hardware wallet, but I did not give my passphrase to anyone. I learned the hard way, almost 100K I could have used to sack for PulseX. Yeah, and again, we hear it all the time. It's not even like you may have been in a compromised situation with crypto, for example, but there's so many other folks who were, I can say blindsided by decentralized exchange doing what they did and collapsing, and then the downfall that came from having money on the centralized exchange and what you thought could have been a trusted place, and you find out that even if you have that money, you still can't get that money back. And so plenty of people have lost plenty of money. Money can always be made up again. Don't let it get you down. Keep on doing you, boo. You're still in the community. You're still in the game of crypto. You have a chance to recover much faster than someone who just lost that money and then steps out of the game of crypto because they're afraid. So don't let fear hold you down. Just make sure to learn from the lessons that you have. We always want to learn from every opportunity that we can, because guys, this is a learning lesson. You always should be learning. Always keep your head to the ground. I'm not the smartest person in the room. I want more people to come through and teach me. I want to be, whenever I walk in, to learn from what they have to say. And that's why I dive into some wallets and see exactly what they're doing, why they're doing it, see if I can make sense of it, because I want to learn, right? That's what this whole thing's about right here. So I'm sorry to hear that the amount of money that was lost is definitely not a small amount for many people, but again, that can always be made up again. You're still in the game of crypto. It's the highest appreciating asset. You're good. You know what I mean? You just gotta have a long-term mentality now at this point in time. 1C can have unlimited passphrase hidden wallets. There you go. I got in $2,500 to sack. Perfect. Lol, don't. I mean, again, dude, I've shown you this before, and I'll again show you here, but just look briefly at what could be very possible. Even 2,500, assuming a 519x within 1 year, is still 1.2 mil. So yeah, you lost 100,000, which sucks, but you still have, luckily, the sacrifice that happened, and that didn't get compromised or didn't get screwed or didn't get lost, because that's 1.2 just on that one asset alone. God forbid you actually get into other assets like PulseChain, HEX, and the other ecosystems that we have as well. So I just wanted to share that with you because, again, money can be made, so don't let it get you down. You keep doing you, boo. You're in the system, and that's a good thing. Seed is 12 or 24 words, and passphrase makes it 13 or 25th. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty good. I don't expect PulseX to ever dump to sack rate. I'm in agreement with this as well. I've seen this happen a lot in the community. People are talking about PulseChain dropping below or PulseX dropping below. I can't see that happening. I have a I actually have a spreadsheet as well that kind of tells me what the PulseChain launch price prediction will be. And this is using two different models. One of them coming from the Ethereum model and just kind of messing with the Ethereum supply. If we are forking Ethereum, it's going to fork over the entire network and the supply. And so this is a live current data set. Again, 0.0013, which is a 13x from sacrifice price. And then you go with the liquidity pools, using the HEX ETH liquidity pool as well, and typing all that information in, still shows it at 0.0013. Again, a 13x using two different metrics. So, and again, who knows what it will do? It may drop that, 60, 70, 80, 90% when it first launches, but I still don't see it going down to sack rate. So to hopefully answer that question, can I do the math on that? Oh, goodness. 0.0013 times 0.9. Yeah, 0.00117. So if, no, I didn't do that math right. There's no way. 0.0013 times. Yeah, I don't know. I can't get that math right. I'll figure that out whenever the time comes. Doing math live on stream. Fun, fun, fun. All right. But anyways, hopefully everyone's having an absolute banger of a weekend. Again, I'm trying to track this right here. I want to see how HEX ends up closing today. If we do close below this trend line that I've set, it's just a matter of seeing what may be possible. We've talked about this earlier, but if you actually end up dropping down even into a 22% drop, which we saw here on this day where HEX dropped 22% from the announcement of Richard Hart saying there was a bug found. And there hasn't really been any other crazy drops that have happened, that big of a drop. I think on this day, we are somewhere. Am I zoomed in right now? What's up? Appreciate the new subscribe. John Favali, appreciate that as well. I wasn't clicked on it. So this was a 10% drop. And again, like, it's pretty rare that you see it, but again, if we look at the HEX liquidity and limit orders, this is another way of just kind of guessing and estimating what may be possible. So this is where HEX is currently sitting. Everything to the left, sell wall. Everything to the right, buy wall. So we do have a lot of strong support around this 5.4 cent region, all the way down to even 5.2 and down to even 4.9. So there's a lot of sell that would have to happen. I'm not saying that's not possible. More people can definitely sell. It just has to be the amount of money that they're dumping to break through this wall right here. We broke through the 5.9 cent wall that we were holding for a small bit of time, or should I say we ate through it. It didn't get broken through. We ate through that in a slow metric, and you can see that it was eaten through because all of these wicks right here, let me just kind of hide the drawings for a second. All of these wicks right here, were actually limit orders getting filled, basically is what that is. So every single time you see wicks, that's the price coming down, filling in. So people are definitely trying to break the 5.9, break the 5.9. We broke the 5.9. We're now sitting at 5.75. So we know, but again, even then it's gotten filled. The limit orders have gotten filled because it's pushing it back up again. So yeah, we're just kind of checking it out. Should the price drop that 22%, that may end up happening, then we're going to end up seeing the price of HEX in the ballpark of about 4.7, 4.6. I talked about this earlier on the stream. Have some limit orders set in place. Make sure to scoop up some HEX and have a ladder limit order situation where you go 5.3, 5.1, 4.9, 4.7. It just allows you to make sure that if the price doesn't get as low as you may think it will, or if it does get as low, you can even set some crazy ones, even down at 3 cents. I mean, I told you myself, I still have some down here at 2 cents. Why? Because why not? If the price ends up hitting it, cool. If it doesn't, cool. Like, you know what I mean? Appreciate the next subscriber as well. Dr. Giggles, what up? I love you, Dr. Giggles. That was my dude who got me into HEX in the first place. He's the one who pointed me in the Richard Hart direction, should I say, and I'm forever thankful for Dr. Giggles. So appreciate you finally subscribing to my channel. What took you so long, fam? But I don't. That's too funny. I gotta go make him an admin real quick. So give me 1 sec while I pull this up here. I guess here we go. Here we go. And definitely got to go make some 1 sec while I pull. All right, where we at? Dr. Giggles, what up? All right, dude, love seeing that. All right, cool. You, my friend, are a mod. All right, I appreciate that. You got that wrench. Let's go. Yeah, so definitely thank him for everything. In all reality, you know what I mean? Like, that is a crazy little situation. And yeah, just kind of curious as to how this is all going to play out. But let's read some more chat real quick and see how every one of you beautiful folks are in fact doing. Cool. So yeah, I don't expect it. Yeah, revoke.cash is the fire. Use it to verify you aren't secretly connected to something. And again, you don't necessarily have, if you don't trust like revoke.cash, hopefully you can trust something like etherscan.io, right? Like, this is the main website that's been used for the scan, right? For the Ethereum network for quite some time. Etherscan.io, come over here to more, come on down to token approvals. You do the same exact thing as you do with revoke.cash. It allows you to see anything that you're connected to. Once you connect your wallet, you say okay. Again, this doesn't have anything in there. It's a dummy wallet. I've said this before, but you can come in here and just remove. Make sure that if you are in fact doing it, now isn't necessarily a bad time. 19 Gwei is probably the lowest that I've seen the transaction fee reach in Ethereum, and probably since the Blur BS launch, whenever that was a week ago or whatever it was. That thing ate up so much gas. But yeah, whenever I start seeing 19, 8 to 12 is my range, right? That's usually what I try to aim for. But when there's a new network that comes out, like this Blur.io marketplace and these other ones like NFTs, they pump up the gas fee because they have so much transactions that happen that have to be approved and gone through by the system and by the stakes. So again, that's why these gas fees, when Blur first launched, I mean, that shit was like 700 Gwei, and that's just, you stay away from Ethereum at that point in time. If you ever see the gas fees like above 100 Gwei, just wait. Like, nothing needs to happen that quickly and that urgently for you to pay and waste that amount of fee. But yeah, so you can do either revoke.cash or you can do at the etherscan.io. Yeah, multiple ways of getting it done. Jay Everything, what's up, my friend 100? Hey, what's up, Crypto7? Appreciate you coming through. I like this guy. I like you, Crypto7. Appreciate what you got going on with the community as well. Love sharing the bullish sentiment that you always have. Bring in that hopium. We all need it every now and again, and I can appreciate it myself. We got the oldest DEX is only 5 years, and that's Uniswap. DeFi and DEXs are going to be the next big thing in the space. PulseX is going to be amazing, but it will pump HEX bags to all-time high, as well you can't lose with RH. Yeah, so as Clifton makes like such a great point right there, folks. Like, one, there's never been a decentralized exchange that's launched at the same time as the layer 1 for the network. So PulseX is going to be revolutionary right from the get-go. Not only that, PulseX has the buy and burn feature. Of course, that is just like mind-boggling when you start seeing some of this, because you can come on over here to burn, for example. Oh, I gotta switch it back over to the PulseChain testnet. But you can see that, like, there's already been 84 billion PulseX burned on testnet alone. So we definitely have that going for this space, you know what I mean? And yeah, it's good to see that that's going to be a thing. DEXs are in fact becoming more and more prevalent to get into crypto. People are learning how to properly get into DeFi and what that means. They're avoiding centralized exchanges like the plague. Why mess with it? There's no purpose in it. So right there, agree with you, Clifton, for sure. Hex Huddle says, yep, and Uniswap V3 is under 2 years old. Yep. Crypto7 is a legend. Crypto7, the legend is in the house. Hey, absolutely give a shout out to Crypto7. Do I still got my channel pulled up here? 1 second, because you already know who getting that wrench. We got it right here. Appreciate you coming through. Crypto7 made into that wrench. Got that wrench, gang. What up, what up? All right, cool. What else we got? Who else we got? Where am I at? What's my name? All right, Hex took the great advantage of this new Uniswap technology, and Pulse is going to also. Yep, haha, don't know about that. The halving gets massively front-run as well from about 12 months out, for sure. And yeah, the halving's expected to be in April of 2024 or May of 2024, I forget the exact date. But it's going to be somewhere in that number, in that range. And so we're probably going to be looking for the 12-month outs for people to start running that cycle roughly in the next few months. And guys, February is only what, 3 more days in the month of February, and then we're into May, we're into March. You know what I mean? And it's just a matter of time. Like, time keeps on ticking, yeah, into the future for sure. Like, for real, for real. Caught up to live. Why are you talking so slow, bro? Oh shit. Oh shit, fuck Master X, that's funny. 7, what's up? Absolutely, Big GZ. What's up, my top G? How are you, my friend? Absolute banger of a guy right there. Really appreciate your stream, sir. Yeah, definitely love Crypto 7 as well. Thanks at ATX Crypto. We'll copy, look at your profit taking strategy. And thanks, Clifton. Absolutely. Like and sub to ATX. Definitely. Definitely, guys. If you're appreciating the information that's coming out, this alpha energy that's happening from my perspective and what you can learn, definitely hit the like and subscribe if you are enjoying it. Appreciate. Great video. Got tokens jacked from my wallet off a fake airdrop running through 500 pads crypto. Yeah, it's super easy to get once you allow a connection of your wallet, and if you authorize them to do whatever they want with that money, they can do whatever they want very quickly, and they do it very quickly. They do not mess around. And if you were just a small fish in the sea, sometimes they may not even mess with it, but if that wallet ends up turning into a lot of money sometime in the future, well, they can come on back and say, you never revoked it, and then they can just fucking snipe you, and you won't even understand where it came from. You won't understand how it happened, but it'll be because you connected to a DApp that happened a year and a half ago. So I highly would point people in the direction of revoke.cash or etherscan.io. Remove these approvals. There's no need to have these approvals in like indefinitely. Like, if you have limit orders, that makes sense for why you would need the approval to happen. And when you do set limit orders, for example, you are giving them the approval to essentially spend your tokens. So if you remove the limit order and cancel it, well, you probably want to also go into one of these systems and remove and revoke the transaction as well. That way they can't just come back later and do something like snipe you without even realizing where it's coming from. Crypto 7 in the house, let's go. #1 UK Hex YouTube streamer, yo, woohoo! Like and subscribe at Crypto 7. Absolutely appreciate that so much. Crypto Freedom got all the energy on that one, like fucking feeling himself on this Saturday. Definitely everyone giving that shout out to Crypto 7. What's the best strategy to physically store your wallet and phrases? Everyone's got their own, right? There is no best strategy. There's no one strategy wins them all. Some people decide to store their phrases in a 3 separate system ways, so that way they have 6, like say you have a 24-word say you have a 24-word seed phrase, for example, you store 8 somewhere, you store another 8 somewhere else, you store another 8 somewhere else, and then you have a passphrase that no one can even touch, stored in your brain or somewhere else. You know what I mean? There's that way of doing it. There's the way of making sure that, again, never, the one thing I can say for sure is don't take a screenshot of your seed words. There's zero reason for it. Don't save them in your notes. Don't save them in your photos. Don't save them in your Google Drive. Don't save them in your Dropbox. Take them off any sort of thing that's connected to the internet. And even if you just put it on a piece of paper, you're probably going to be most likely going to be okay. However, then you run the risk of what happens in the event of a fire, and then there's all what happens in the event you spill water on it, what happens in the event of all this stuff. So then you start getting into the next level of, okay, I can put it on stainless steel blocks, or I can move it here and I can etch it into certain things, or I can put it into a key phrase, and there's like this little system that you can actually have. It's almost like a USB type deal, but allows you to insert the information, you pull it off, and then it can hold that information on this little small encrypted file that no one could ever access, because you have, like, there's so many different levels that you can take this, but primarily you want to avoid those words touching the internet by any means possible. Also, you typically don't want to be typing in the words in case you have some keylogger on your computer. You know what I mean? So it's like there's so many things that could be and that can be, and so just a matter of how far and crazy you want to get with it. But the strategy that I would say that would be pretty much good to go, sufficient enough, should I say? Again, you can increase as time progresses if needed, is to take that stainless steel, find a little etcher and etch them in there. Make sure that it can withstand fire. So make sure that you do the research and find out what can withstand fire. If you want to, you could even then get a fireproof safe. But there's just so many different levels of how far you want to go, and you can always upgrade if needed in the future, is the idea, right? So hopefully that helps answer that question there. I just had a buddy whose browser got hacked, and it was a nightmare. Thankfully, I helped him recover, and it was okay. He had a private key. There you go. What's up, Dr. H, the crypto practor? What's up? Hey, ATX. I like saying ATXicans now. That's such a cool freaking line. Hey, ATX. Happy Saturday, Hexicans. Boop the like, spank the subscribe. Yeah, give it that good old, you know what I mean? That good old. All right, we stole my D2T token, but that was a rug anyways. Got my more Pulse Doge and Pulse Bitcoin, but they didn't get my HEX. Hey. Yeah, like all those other ones are cool, and you have a chance to get some, but if your HEX is safe, then you are probably going to be okay. Seed on metal and passphrase separately. Each passphrase, yeah, definitely keep those separate for sure. Each passphrase is a unique to the wallet, that even if the seed gets compromised, the funds are safe as long as the passphrase passphrases aren't compromised. Yeah, so definitely if you are doing a passphrase, don't keep them on the same thing you put all the seed words on. That's like, hey, here's what I do to keep myself even safer, but here's the exact method to get into it. One can use a passphrase like anything. For example, for hex stakes, can use hex stakes 1 or something like that. Anything at all. Just don't lose or forget it. Yeah, definitely do something that is probably different than most of your passwords, make sure that you have it to where you can't forget it, because yeah, if you do, you are screwed. I also have tokens sent on the wrong network and got them lost into oblivion before. For sure, guys, and these are learning lessons, right? And what do you learn? It's like, hopefully you start out by doing small transactions, right? One thing I said, when you cash out, when you get into a new crypto, when you send to a new wallet, you start with a small transaction first. Why? Because you want to make sure that it actually gets to the location or destination that you're trying to send it. You are not trying to send something and then be like the God Whale, dude, whenever he sent the freaking 3.4 billion hex it was like 2.8 billion was sent on the first transaction to a brand new wallet. I was like, dude, that takes guts beyond guts. Like I couldn't even fathom doing that. Because that breaks like one of my core principles, that if I set up a new wallet, that I have to do a test run first. Like why would I want to? I can't even, like, again, dude, if you go back and you find it, like 2.8 billion hex was sent on the first transaction, and I think I can find it if I go here. Give me 1 second and I'll actually pull up exactly what that looked like. Because, dude, that was, whenever I saw that, I was just shocked. I couldn't even believe that like somebody of that caliber would even go that route. Oh, damn it. Where is it? Here. Shows table. And then do I go copy here, copy value, copy selection, copy value? I can't remember which one it is. Okay, there it is, copy value. So this I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about, because it literally blew my fucking mind. So literally the God Whale right here, the very first transaction that they sent to this wallet's 5 days and 10 hours old. They just created the wallet. They sent this, and the very first transaction was 2.8 billion hex. I was like, what? That's the first transaction you do? Like, you don't do one of those million hex first? Like this, I would even be okay with 105 million being the first transaction because they got billions, you know what I mean? But they sent 2.8 bill for the first one? That ain't me, boo. That no way. No way. I don't want that. Yeah, dude, that takes fucking gall and guts and trust to just do 2.8 bill on the first go. Like, no. And again, 5 days ago, just to shits and gigs, what was the price of HEX 5 days ago? So we're on daily 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So somewhere in this region between 6 cents down to say, I'll just say 6 cents was the one. So for shits and gigs, 2.8 billion. Yeah. I just lost track of where I was. We got 1,000 million. No, that's not right. 1,000 million billion. Yeah, so 2.8 times 0.06 cents. That's again 171 mil. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah, $171 million. They just was like, here's 171 million, and then just send it as the very first transaction. Like, dude, can you imagine being in a situation where you fuck up one digit for any reason? You forget to do something, guys. Crypto is not forgiving. If you send it to a wrong address, if you send it somewhere else that it was not meant to go, you are just SOL. There is no recourse. You can't ask for it back. You don't know who the F got it. So they literally sent 171 million on the very first transaction to that wallet. No way. No fucking way would I ever get there. Like, that is crazy. You could definitely learn more at hexsafe.win. For sure. Also go and talk to the admins on Telegram. You got the Hex security right there. Question for y'all: what do you think the best RH stream for a beginner? What do you think is the best RH stream for a beginner? I mean, Crypto Coffee is probably going to be my recommendation in reality. Depends on, like, he has tons of knowledge breaking stuff down from like beginner to staking to doing all sorts of stuff, messing with different protocols and learning about all sorts of different stuff. The next one's going to be Rags and Hexray Vision's course. I think it's Crypto 101. I forget the exact website. You can probably find it by checking that out. But they break down, like Brandon will go through from Rags to Riches, will break down a ton of information, kind of like explaining someone in crypto what the blockchain is, right? Starting from like extreme basics that don't even have anything to necessarily do with Hex per se. But I think that would be kind of where I would point people in, would probably be like Crypto Coffee, for example. Maybe find some good videos that you think are good to help share with other people and everything like that. Just don't answer DMs from scammers. Yeah, definitely don't. Don't do it. Oops, I blocked this dude. Never need to do that. Kev, what up, Kev? USMC, is there a projected launch date for PulseChain? Mid-May. 2 more weeks. Yeah, it's always 2 weeks away unless otherwise stated. Rolling 2 weeks out. Public testnet V3 first. 7s got here from Crypto 7. Check that out. Appreciate that, Crypto 7. Appreciate the shout out on the tweet as well. Always so much love, guys. So much love. That's freaking incredible. I'm putting forth together something for like a giveaway, a raffle, something like that. I'm still coming up with all the ins and outs of it, and once I have more information, I'll keep divulging, but it's gonna have something to do with basically subscribers. So for those folks who are subscribed to the channel, just know that you are going to be in it to win it in that scenario, and we'll keep on going. PulseX could FOMO dump, but it's limit order buy for sure. Hi, Journey. Hi, my puppy's coming. He's coming over so slow. Hi, Journey. I don't know if y'all can see. Hi, cutie. What you doing? Hi. Oh, you gonna go under the table? Journey. Hi, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Yeah. You just see his tail. That's just funny. His tail, whack, whack, whack. Just Saying hello to everyone. That was giving the waves from my man Journey right there. That's one of the pups in the house, one of the many. So PulseX could FOMO dump, but it's limit order buy for sure. Yep, for sure. Yeah, definitely limit orders for buys, limit orders for sells. Learn how limit orders works. Crypto 7 is the GOAT of HEX streamers. When it's night here in the US, but sometimes I can catch them. Yeah, so I mean, either way, we love the replay gang, right? And he can attest to this. Like, majority of the views definitely don't come from a live stream. Majority of the views come, you know, whether it be later in the day, much later in the afternoon, a week later, 2 weeks later. The streams continue to get more and more traction as time goes on. And yeah, it's just kind of how it goes. But definitely always good to see a replay gang fam as well. Yep, at John Favali. Nice. Welcome. Absolutely. PulseX could definitely do a FOMO dump, but it's limit order buy for sure. She never went potty, baby. Okay. Yep, Crypto 7 is a GOAT. Appreciate that. Lots of Aussie Hexicans on his stream. Yeah, they're all in the same time zone, so it makes sense. Dr. Giggles, my dude. Hello. We got, yep, limit orders for sure. ETH Denver, OTR. Hey, we got Dr. Giggles. Word, good deal. Appreciate that. You playboy. I am taken, sir. Excellent. Absolutely. Everyone's saying hello. Can I lose money if I LP and PLSX and Pulse Pool because of volatility? Yeah. Impermanent loss is always a thing when you provide liquidity. Liquid Loans actually has a really good video on impermanent loss if you want to just go to their channel and check it out. There's plenty of other people who have talked about it. Type it into ChatGPT, for example, if you want to break it down in a different way. Just say like, hey, impermanent loss, break it down to me like I'm a 8-year-old or 5th grader or whatever you want to say for it to explain it to you in a different way. It can go through and explain that kind of stuff. But anytime you provide liquidity, there is definitely impermanent loss ability, and that's kind of one of those things that people are getting so pumped about. So whenever PulseX first launched and the testnet first launched, they had something where you could go in here and say go into farms, for example, and it was pools actually. You would go in here to pools, and you could actually end up earning this PRT. And essentially, it's this provider where you provide your stake, your PLSX, and the way it's going to work is these the new apps that are coming out, the new people who are coming on board from all the different systems, and anyone creating any application on PulseChain are going to basically say, hey, you can earn some XYZ token, which is PRT, right? The incentive token, whatever it is. You can earn this token for staking your PLSX with us. We'll give you a certain amount of APY or APR, and you can earn that during that time. It's a single-sided staking. So that situation is what people got most pumped about, because that was almost like what we've been looking for. It doesn't allow you to be so susceptible to impermanent loss because it's just a single-sided staking pool. But if you ever go into farm, for example, and my dog is barking, hold up. Someone said happy Xmas because of my Christmas tree in the chat. That Christmas tree gets so much love, guys. It literally does. And I'm a big fan of how much love it gets too, because I love it just myself. Bentley, calm down. Thank you. Technology. You can literally see his room right there. That's Bentley. He's a little cutie. He's got his own little bedroom and stuff like that. You know, his bed, his crate, all that good stuff. And he's chilling, but we just put him up, and so he's like, guys, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to go up. But yeah, like, look at all these liquidity pools that are possible, and it's definitely possible to be susceptible to impermanent loss. So if you don't understand all that and how it works, definitely do some research. If you're looking to earn a little bit of extra yield on the side, try staking some and putting some up on both pairs for you to be able to earn some additional yield. but I wouldn't put like your whole bag, for example, just to try to earn that, especially when there's going to be single-sided liquidity providing, where people are going to incentivize people to stake their PLSX and earn additional tokens, and then you can sell those tokens for, guess what? More PulseX, right? So a beautiful system that's happening right now that we're all in, for sure, for sure. But yeah, you can always lose money. ETH gas is more expensive than real gas. Lol. It depends on how often you're transacting on it, but real gas is eating my ass before the ETH gas does. You know what I mean? Like, I don't do a ton of transactions every single day, so I'm okay with the ETH gas. I can wait a few more days if it needs to happen. But yeah, I can't really wait if my car's out of gas. So but I feel you. I see what you're saying, though. HEX squid, it's impermanent loss if they deviate in the ratio to each other, but only if you remove. Yeah, exactly. So impermanent loss is like it's there. Given enough time, everything can eventually wish-wash out and kind of, you know, allow you to make up that money again. But is there a chance that you are going to stick around long enough to basically be able to wait it out for that to wash each other and come clean and basically come to a flat surface again? Like, usually people don't. So that's kind of what I would say. I guess it's more risky at the start then. Yeah, it's definitely going to be super risky, for sure, for sure. RH wants people to EHEX, PHEX pool. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be wrapped EHEX. I don't see that being the main play, personally. I'll say that. Out of everything that's going to be possible, I just don't see that being the one. There will be liquidity on PulseX anyways, for sure, for sure. The fixer will grab from Ethereum and set it up best to remove HEX from LPs on Ethereum prior to fork, for sure. 17 cents on Walking Dog. Fuck, it's cold. Minus 17 degrees out. Oh, shit. I thought you said 17 cents. Oh, my God. Negative 17 anything is fucking cold. Like, oh, my gosh. Bundle up, wrap up the dog, take the dog bundled up. Like, god dang. At HEX squid, of course, there's risk of impermanent loss. Single-sided staking is a better play for safety. That is cold, for sure, for sure. Got it. All in on ATX, Clifton says, impermanent loss of the asset on one side results in the gain of the other side. So whatever you lose, PLS or PLSX, you will gain on the other. But overall, your USD value from both will fluctuate. There you go. That's an easy way to explain. That's basically exactly what it is. But you also get the fees relative to your slice and your position in the pool. Passphrases are great to utilize. Easiest is with Treasure, the Model T. A big fan of Treasure myself, so I can agree with this statement. StakeHex says, for sure, boss. Thank you. Sorry, Clifton says that to StakeHex. .today or at .xyz. Yeah, I noticed some whales send a relatively small amount first to a new wallet. That's what you're supposed to do. ETH first, then ERC20 small, then the large amount. That's what you're supposed to do. You fucking do tests. You like to risk. I can't even fathom like putting in $171 million and sending it to a new wallet as the first transaction. I can't. It don't make sense. But as long as ETH arrives and accessible, can send anything. That's why you do test. That's literally why you do the same thing when cashing out, folks. If you've never cashed out, or if you're first time cashing out, or if you're cashing out from a new wallet, or anything like that, you start small. You don't just say like, I want to cash out 100,000 because I've got some profits, and then send $100,000 to yourself, because shit, dude, you'll end up like getting fucked. You'll be like, there'll be a security fraud on the account. They'll be wondering where the money came from. There's all these questions that start happening. So you can do small transactions first. They may never even get it. And then you have to like, dude, once something's sent on the blockchain, it's gone. So like start small, folks. Test. I do the same thing with HEX. If you're not familiar with HEX and the ecosystem of HEX, you start small. You do a simple stake. The way I started is I did a 7-day stake and a 30-day stake. The 7-day stake, I had a small amount. I ended it the very next day. I wanted to see how the early emergency ending stake would work. And then I did a 30-day stake, and I wanted to see if it's even beneficial to do 30-day stakes. And with the small amount that I did and the gas fees that I paid, I realized right there and then that it did not make sense to do small transactions for small amounts of time. So the very first transaction I actually did that I would say is I kicked that fucker out to 55.55. You know what I mean? I was like, dude, if I'm willing to wait until I get Social Security or my IRA or my 401k or any of that until I'm 65, 59 and a half years old, whatever the case may be, then yeah, I can kick this out to 15 years. And guess what? I can backfill it in. That's a beauty. But I got the max return of T-shares on essentially what was my real first stake in HEX. And that's what I would, point people in the direction of doing too. But it's something that you have to learn and figure out what makes sense for you. I trust myself and just double check the address I'm copy pasting and that I have access to it. Yeah, so one of the new scams that's happening though is sometimes when you do these addresses in here, they'll insert like a fake address that's very similar, so freaking close. So sometimes you'll go into these transactions, for example, and you'll be like, oh, it's so similar. And then you just copy and then you just send. And that's a fake transaction wallet that doesn't have anything to do with you. So like you could double check the entire number for sure. You can copy paste the entire thing, which is usually a good recommendation, I think, for anyone to do. Just make sure that they match. If they match, then you're good. There's definitely different levels of caution that you should take, and I think everyone can take. It's just a matter of figuring out what makes sense for them. Because yeah, dude, it's a learning lesson that I think everyone needs to have. The blockchain is secure. The user can make a mistake or get hacked. Yeah, the blockchain's or the customer is the one that has it. That was Godwell's DGen wallet. Can you imagine, dude? Just 171 mil. I'm gonna let this one be my DGen. Yes, we're all gonna be there one day. My friend. Hex token channel is probably a recommendation for what you were talking about for who to go see. There's not much complexity to Hex. All you do is buy it and either hold it or stake it. It's not that deep. Yeah, but like so many folks aren't familiar with how real crypto should work, right? He covers everything even remotely related to Hex. Mid-May maybe, lol. Best to just stick to what works and save the powder for RH Crypto. The dog waved. Yeah, exactly. The dog definitely gave a hello to you beautiful folks. Yo for show. I like that. Yo Fasha. I like the name. Hi. How are you? Hope you're having a great weekend. I made 40x in AI coins in the Jan run up. Hex is nice, but it's getting old. Well, and that's the beauty of something that's going to reward you in the long term. That AI coin has done great, but is it going to be around? And is it going to have the same potential after 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? Did you have to make sure that you did trade? Were you actively watching it? Were you watching all the news? The thing about Hex is it's boring, but guess what? Boring is where you make money. Like this boring phase that we're in with the bear market, this is when you really make money. All the people who've done stuff and made plays during this boring time where the Hex has been just bouncing between 2 to 5 cents for the last fucking 6 months, those people in the next 3 years are going to be so thankful that the plays that they made were done at that time. Yeah, is it a little bit longer vision? For sure. And guess what? You can earn more yield by staking it. So it's boring, but it's a lot safer than trying to mess with a new coin that you're not familiar with, that you insert more risk. Do you have stakes already set up? And if you are messing with this AI coin, are you messing with it with the wallet that you have? Like, yes, crypto can be boring, but the people who made the most money are people like the Godwell, who has 800,000 Ethereum Genesis tokens from the Ethereum Genesis launch, right? They literally have 800,000 tokens, and guess what? They didn't do shit, and now they're over here transacting and doing $171 million moves. Like, boring is where you make money. Boring is where you actually get to win. I don't need it to be super exciting all the time, and I don't need it to make my heart jump every single time it does stuff, right? I want a safe, secure, and yeah, boring in terms of crypto, sure. Boring in terms of actual relative to what's going on in the actual world, like I would say no. It's still going to be a higher appreciating asset than any of those. I guess Whale didn't want the to spend the extra ETH on the test. If one's confident, why not, dude? Yeah, cool. It's degen, however, and risky. Yeah, dude, that's just not the play to do for anyone. And to kind of show that, like, I hate to use this as the purpose, right? But like, you got to understand the Godwell is almost like a figure in our community, and so people will replicate and do similar behaviors that they do, whether it be these 30-day stakes or 90-day stakes, or whether it be sending all the tokens to a new wallet. People aren't familiar with their knowledge of what they have already, and then they think they can just do it because they did it, and then they get wrecked. So I would have loved to see the Godwell play it safe. I've pulled other wallets where you create a new wallet and it's like, oh, they do a test run. They send 1,000 HEX. They do this. They did that. And then they send the big money, right? That's the same thing. Like, that's what I want to see. Same thing when people are offloading crypto. I want to see that same metric. They send 1,000 USDC off to their own personal whatever Coinbase or Kraken address, right? And then they sent 10,000 or 100,000, and that's the play you want to see. I don't want to see someone just do like, my first time cashing out, 100,000. Like, that's not the play, right? It's just not safe for anyone by any means. If there's a major dump later this year, yes, by HEX, but also the AI narrative right now is no joke. Yeah, dude, the AI narrative is simply that. It's a narrative, right? You're making a temporary play on something that doesn't have the amount of time that HEX has, being 3 years of flawless operation, paying trustless yield the entire time, the code working exactly like it says, it's immutable, there's no admin keys. Are these AI coins that you're messing with, do they have admin keys? Because sometimes admin keys can shut that shit off and then you lose all the value, especially if you weren't quick enough at cashing some stuff out, or they do a rug, or any of those other situations. So like, what's the code look like on the AI tokens? I haven't seen them. I don't know them. I'm not familiar with them. But have you done the research and actually seeing what the protocols actually are? Is it immutable code? Can never be changed? All these things are like built into the foundation of HEX, and that's why what makes HEX so beautiful. You know what I mean? So I feel you right now, right? It's just like, that's chasing the new shiny object, and there's gonna be like, here's the thing, and I'll say this one time, right? Last evolution, what are you gonna do when PulseChain launches? Are you gonna be constantly chasing the new shiny object, or are you gonna be trying to be patient and hold on to the 4 pillars like PulseChain, HEX, PulseX, and HEX on Ethereum, right? Are you holding on to those 4 pillars, or are you constantly chasing the new shiny token? Are you going to constantly go and say, there's a new one out, there's a new one out, there's a new one out, and then just all the money that you could have had that you may have diversified into a 4-pillar foundation have now been separated into 100 different projects that one may end up doing good, but if the other 99 do bad, then that one that did good is completely offset. I've talked about this in the past, but if you bought 10 coins and one of them does a 10x and the other 9 go down 50%, it doesn't matter. You actually are down. You're negative in that scenario. So it's quality over quantity by far. By far. Quality over quantity. I ain't chasing no shiny new object, and if I am, I damn sure ain't doing it with the wallet that I have associated with HEX, PulseChain, or PulseX. It's going to be a straight degen wallet that's just going to be a fun play because maybe I just need to have it because I need to gamble. But I've gotten out of that mindset so long ago that I no longer have that feeling that I need to even touch something like that to try to catch the new play. I know what works, I know what's here, and I know what's going to be here in the future, and that's what I'm focused on. Thanks for the reply, ATX. I meant which actual ATX stream is pretty good for beginners. Oh, gotcha. Which R8 stream, gotcha. The one with the supermodel was pretty good. Not sure if there are older ones that are good for beginners. So there's a, what website is it? Let me see if I can remember the name of the website real fast, and then I'll think about it. Give me 1 second. Let's see if I can find it here. It's like hexsearch.io or CPA grip. Let me just see if I can find it here. Yeah, it was hexsearch.io. Trust your gut sometimes, folks. All right, so you can go to a website called hexsearch.io. It actually goes through and finds a ton of videos. So if you have someone who is brand new to crypto, maybe you can come and type in beginner, and it'll actually come through here, and it actually goes through how does a beginner buy some HEX, and it literally, this is a video from August 10th of 2021. So you can go and find a video right here and then watch that particular video. If you talk about like wallet, you know, or we'll say security, for example, right? If you have someone who may not be familiar with how security works, you know, you could go through and just type in security. And again, the website is hexsearch.io. Oh, he can't help himself? He gets so annoyed when she's around. Yeah. Oh, nice. Hi, Peso. Hi, Peso. Huh? Oh, nice. Hi, Jojo. Say hello to the little puppy. Peso. Peso, peso. Peso, peso, peso. All right, anyways. He gonna be my little YouTube streamer buddy for a second, but hopefully that website is I'm recommending coffee for sure. Did you mention a link that was a free airdrop of HEX? Nope. I don't mention any links that offer any free airdrops for HEX, but if you end up ever receiving an airdrop stating free anything, and you don't have it verified by, I don't know, 5 different sources, then I would, oh, Richard Hart loves puppies. And the funny part is he doesn't have any puppies in this video, but it's comical that I have a puppy right here with me at this point in time, and that was there as well. But yeah, if you ever received a message saying like free airdrop, claim this, like don't fuck with it, dude. Just don't. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So yeah, the Christmas tree stays up until PulseChain launches. Yeah, the Christmas tree stays up year round, my friend. Been up 7 years and it doesn't look like it's coming down anytime soon. There's no free HEX. Yeah, so there's a new one that's actually called, yeah, actually I meant PulseChain. Same difference. Yeah, there's going to be a free airdrop called PulseChain comes out. When it launches, get ready, because yeah, that shit's going to be banger. There will be a faucet, yeah, or more than one of them even, but nothing live yet. Yeah, so the free faucet's actually freepulse.io. You can go through, check out the website right now, start getting familiar with it. One thing I do is, you want to start building healthy habits. So you can claim free pulse every hour on the hour. You go through here, you click on I'm a CAPTCHA, you click all the little soccer balls, and then you get to roll a little number. I may only get 1 this time. Yeah, so sometimes I get 71, and this number has been increasing because I'm trying to work on building the habit. But if you have someone who's brand new to crypto for the very first time, they don't have any PulseChain, they didn't sacrifice for it, they don't have a MetaMask, so they aren't going to have anything, then you can send them to this website right here, freepulse.io, made by phenomenal hexicans in our community. And hi, it's Felix and Victor in our community who made this website. You want to come up here? Come on, puppy, come on. I'll pick you up. Yeah, so Felix and Victor made the website here, and yeah, they do phenomenal jobs. If you roll any of these numbers, you have a chance to get a lot of PulseChain, and this is free, free. This is that faucet that you're going to be looking for. Don't bite me. Hi. This is a faucet that you're going to be looking for, though, to answer the question. So this technically is live. It's just for testnet right now. This is for test PLS that you'll be receiving, and it says it down at the bottom. This is a beta. We use testnet PLS until mainnet, not redeemable for real PLS. So all the spending and everything you're doing right now, while it's cool, it doesn't really matter. It's just to build that healthy habit. Because again, if you start focusing on, you know, making something into a habit, you can also make stuff out of a habit. So I want to start making this a habit where you can claim free pulse every hour on the hour. Why the F not? Because like so far I've already got 1,000, and let's just say PulseX goes and does 1,000x or 10,000. Oh, sorry, what happened? Your foot got stuck? You okay? So say PulseX goes or PulseChain goes and does a 10,000x, for example. Very quickly, this turns into a lot of free money, and you can actually withdraw it and actually send it to your own address right here. And super simple. It's a phenomenal website. Of course, the way this is going to work is people are also going to be able to gamble. I'm not a gambling man, so you can come in here and gamble all the pulse you want if you want to gamble it away. I just don't think that's worth the risk. So you do you if that's something that you need to mess with yourself. You know what I mean? For whatever reason. Yeah, low on balance, want to bet, and the free claim isn't ready yet. Deposit Pulse and get balance credited within 10 seconds. Oh, shit. This is too funny. Okay, cool. So, back to here. All right, what we doing? What we talking about? Yeah, so that website is, in fact, live, and there's a couple on testnet, HW777. What's up, Warrants? How are you, dude? Love seeing Warrants in here. Phenomenal person in the HEX ecosystem as well. Straight up OG. Appreciate you coming through and even leaving a comment on this stream. Thank you. And Kev, yeah, of course, you're welcome, my friend. Simplify. To access the testnet links, go to pulsechain.com. Yeah, definitely. Simple as that, right? Once you go to pulsechain.com, you will get a whole bunch of access for a whole bunch of information, how to change the RPC, how to do all that stuff. So if you just go to pulsechain.com, you can then come in here and it'll tell you how to do all that stuff, right? Easy way to do it though is if you actually, this has a faucet and everything too, if you end up needing some more. This is a separate faucet as well. This isn't the free pulse. This gives you 10 PLS once a day, if I'm not mistaken. So you can claim it right here. It'll send it right there. And yeah, pretty simple. I think this is once a day that you can get this for 10 PLS or 10 TPLS for now. That's again not redeemable for actual pulse when it actually launches. But when you go to pulsechain.com, you are going to see this website right here. I think it's so much easier instead of going through and having to type in all this RPC info, which isn't that difficult. If you ever need to, you can come up here to MetaMask, for example. You just go up here and click on, there's a little window drop down that says what network you're on. You just click add network and then it'll pull up a different website. You literally copy paste information in. I've already got it saved in this one, so you don't have to, but you can absolutely go in here and you can, again, kind of look up PulseChain. Yeah, I can't see it. Yeah, again, because it's not there, right? PulseChain is not real. But this is how you can actually connect to a bunch of different stuff if you want to connect to any of these other networks that are out there, right? I can add network manually, type in the network name. In this case, I would say PulseChain. I would type in the RPC URL, blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't have to go through and do that. Why? Because I've already done it. An easy way of doing it as well is when you just go here to trading, for example, and you just click on this button. If you aren't connected to the network already, it'll actually pop up a little window that says switch to PulseChain. And you click it and then bam, it gives you access to PulseChain without typing in all that RPC information. So hopefully that information helps for everyone who may be wondering, have I ever done good accounting? Nope, I don't see a reason for it. Because again, like, yeah, I just don't see a reason for it. I haven't, but many have, and one can good accounting anyone's stake for exactly if it's past the 2 weeks and bleeding hex. Yep, exactly. Logi33 says, nice, delayed gratification, chat GPT it. Oh, okay, cool. I'll chat GPT. Let's see what it says here. 1 second. Safari. Verify I'm human. Well, I am human, sucker. Log in. And I'll continue with this account. Sure. Oh, goodness. What's my password? All right. Whoa. So this is one of the websites right here for ChatGPT. You can come up here, type in delayed gratification. Let's just see what it says. I'm just going to literally say it. Delayed gratification refers to the ability to resist the temptation of an immediate reward and instead wait for a larger reward that will come after a certain period of time. This concept is often associated with self-control, willpower, and the ability to delay immediate pleasure or gratification in order to achieve a greater long-term goal. Studies have shown that individuals who possess the ability to delay gratification tend to have a better outcome in various areas of life, such as academic achievement, social skills, and mental health. This is because they're able to focus on long-term goals and make decisions that are more beneficial in the long run. One well-known experiment that tested delayed gratification is the Stanford marshmallow experiment, which I think everyone knows, in which the children were offered a choice between a small reward, 1 marshmallow immediately, or a large reward, 2 marshmallows if they could wait for a short period of time. The study found that those who were able to delay gratification tended to have a better life outcome later on. Bam! Once again, ChatGPT coming in clutch. Yeah, absolutely. Always DCA and limit buy the bear and limit sell the bull top and you will be happy. For sure, I love being bored. Yeah, love being bored is the absolute quintessential essence of what we're looking for, right? The 4 pillars and the 4 Ps. That's the 5 Ps. Proper preparation prevents poor performance, right? But yeah, the 4 Ps for sure. The 4 pillars are absolutely going to be winning. Ethereum on HEX, or HEX on Ethereum, HEX on PulseChain, PulseChain, and PulseX. Those are the 4 pillars. Build that as a foundation, set yourself up for life. Diversity is the degen way to lose your money. 95% of coins will fail and dump. Yep, no new all-time high for most. Yeah, exactly. Old coins like Litecoin and XRP haven't seen all-time highs in over 5 years. I know, that sucks so much right there. And there's such a strong community for it too, and they still can't even pump it up enough to make any sort of near all-time high even. You know what I mean? Like they aren't even coming up to double top. Great stream ATX, a way to represent Texas HEX community. Of course, John Trotter, thank you. You should do a one-on-one with K4K. He is actually waiting. I reached out to him, TDM. He's actually waiting until PulseChain launches to do streams again and do streams with guests. So at that point in time, when PulseChain does launch, I will be reaching out to him and hopefully bringing him on board as well. And Access Alive. If y'all can reach out to Access Alive, I wanted to ask him to hit me up. Maybe I just do a public message on Twitter and ask him if he can join. But he doesn't allow people to send him DMs for security or OPSEC purposes or whatever. So I can't send him a DM, even though like I'm following him and all that good stuff. So maybe if y'all have access to him, maybe let him know that I would love a stream. He can hit me up if that's possible. Or maybe I just do a public tweet and see if we can get some, public notion toward getting that done. So I would love to definitely have him on board, especially with the alpha that he has and the knowledge that he has. Brings so much energy and I absolutely love it. Dude has way too many dogs. How many dogs do you have, lol? Well, I have 4 that we actually own. And then my wife's a dog trainer who does board and trains. So right now we have 2 board and train puppies here as well. Lol was going to ask the same thing. More dogs than humans. Yeah, I got 2 humans. Well, 4 humans technically. My wife, myself, and 2 kids. But yeah, the dogs definitely outnumber the people. I swear everywhere, everyone has a dog or 2 these days and kids. It's crazy out there. Just don't get addicted to gambling on there. Yeah, dude, like freepulse.io, I don't have any intention of doing that for shits and gigs because it was testnet. I went ahead and did a couple of fun runs like when this first launched in the very, very beginning, just because again, when you're bored, you do stupid shit. And this is one of those things that I ended up trying to see how it would work. I was like, oh, just do it. And look at this. It just like literally you can win some money, you can earn it, but then it crashes. There's so many different things that are out there. Not a fan of promoting gambling. I don't think it's a way to actually increase any money. It's just a degenerate way of another vice that you will have to try to learn how to get rid of. Because guys, vices are tough. Like, so I stopped smoking cigarettes 2 years ago, stopped drinking alcohol a year ago, and I stopped smoking weed like 3 months ago, 4 months ago now. So it's been like, dude, those are some strong vices for a lot of folks, and I've been trying to work on making sure that I'm just a better person, better health, better wealth, better mentality, all that stuff. And I don't want to be, handled with vices. I think I stopped gaming probably like 3 years ago. I don't want to be hit with vices that are so tough to get rid of, man. And so if you can fight those battles and learn how to get it yourself, then yeah, dude, good on you. You know what I mean? Because like I know the struggle, I know what it is. Yep, it's test PLS, not real PLS for now. Yep, if you sacked, you will have Pulse on there already with that wallet, but I don't recommend using Sack Wallet, but send to a new one. Exactly. When you first connect to freepulse.io, you actually get 10,000 Pulse for the very first time for a brand new wallet. So just a little fun fact, create a new wallet, test it out yourself, do a little dummy wallet, have some fun. You could, in those scenarios for dummy wallets, if you never, ever plan on sending money to it, then sure, write down or take a photo of the fucking seed words or do something, but never, ever send money to it. Why? Because that could be a compromised account instantly. So just a little fun fact on it. But yeah, if you want to test out some of this stuff, definitely do so. Fun little information for everybody. Or just use the new wallet and get the free amounts. New wallet could just be a new passphrase. Don't use account 2, but new wallet for sure. Hey, Fire Hearts, what's up? Absolutely, Warrants, much love to you as well. Absolutely much love going from everyone in the stream and everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for all y'all beautiful people tuning in. Can I just connect to PulseX Dex and it will prompt to add network? Yeah, if you connect it. Oh, you can just connect. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yep, easy. Same will be for mainnet. No need to add it manually. Yeah, exactly. Everyone's got their own method. It's just a matter of what makes sense for you and how it works. But guys, if y'all don't have anything else for me, it has been an absolute banger of a stream. I hope every one of y'all have a beautiful freaking Saturday. I will be on tomorrow, as always, with my daily streams and catch you tomorrow. Peace.